here was and I looked at it and different people look at it in different ways, but I looked at it as a huge, huge carpet of flowers is the best way I can put it. But each flower was a life experience, a life personality. And I looked at these thousands of flowers. I said, come on, wait a minute. I've been all of these? And over here is a laugh, chuckle. I said, sure, kid, sure. What'd you expect? You know? And here's this mass of different textured, radiating, vibrant things, and this this pattern of it's how to describe it. It's indescribable, except it's like a huge family feel, like brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. It has that kind of feel, only much closer. And there's this total intercommunication with all these in the sense that they know you, and as you begin to work and go touch one of the flowers, which you soon find out is a face, hi boy, and the joy that you have finally recognized this. And that was reflected in, I look and I say, so this is what it's all about. This is what I am. All of these life personalities, all of these lifetime experiences. And I then said, and that's what it is. And I finally have made that understanding, that brilliant thing. And this voiceover says, well, it took you long enough. And then I found out much more about what I now call the I there of me, and take the hyphen out, and it becomes the it of me. And the it of which I am, and it is I, is indeed composed of literally, and nobody really bothers to count it in my it cluster, how many lives we have lived. But it's somewhere above 2,000, and that I figure is enough. And nobody bothers. Just go find out for yourself. And I don't want to go over there and count all these different things. Nobody does, so we don't know. But as the need arises, and there is sort of an executive committee, as it were, how these are I have no idea. I am whatever. That selects a number of life personalities to form a new one, and to send down for or insert into an earth life sojourn. And mine was selected for a very specific, from specific life experiences, to live in the century of the fire wagons. In other words, the 20th century, when we were using explosions to do things with instead of the other means of doing things, to live that 20th century. And I got to know them. I suspected something like this, but didn't understand it. And these are the clusters that are sent in my case, and this is the thing. You all go find this out for yourself. Never mind. I don't mind. I'm just Pied Piper is all. But this cluster, I've recognized symptoms of this when I got to know it. It says, oh yes, and now I got to know them very well. But there are around 5 that are dominant, but they've melded together to become what I am. And I use them I have used them unconsciously or automatically as I have lived through this life. And I like to use another way of putting it, but they are different kinds. And I now suspect we flicker from those one to another as needed in our life, or as we get to them. And I have fun showing you ways to do this. And I'll get up and do this because this is a interesting way to show this that I have gotten out of my old theatrical base. For example, if one wanted to be in the rather heavy, serious state, you would get in here like this, you see, and you'd be like this, and that's one personality. Or as you moved over here, and you are soft and ethereal, don't you see? And it makes another look at you. And we are all doing this automatically. Or if we went over here, and you're a heart, you can do this. Or if you are a ghost-like figure, you're this high. These are the parts of us that are existent and are there consistently. So this was so tremendously exciting because I then had begun to know the basic of what I am. And excitedly, I went through this whole pattern of learning the process of all these, what I am. I found out, for example, many of the things, and I won't go through them tonight, of what I am, but because it's much more fun for you to find out your sources and analyze what you are. Why bore you with mine? But the fascinating part is that this is available to you. All this mass of historical experience, you now are in the position popping into 21 and go to 21 and turn left, and there it is. And that is not only your own life experience, but all of this mass of, present life experience, but all this mass of others. I assure you, there's nothing that you can think or be or feel or be emotional about that you haven't experienced at least 50 to 100 times before. And you go through the catalog and say, well, fine, I've lost my love, my lover. And you go down through here and you'll find all these ones, well, I did this here, oh, this is pretty good, I'll use that. You see, it's like a catalog of yourself. And it's your own personal catalog. And that's the beauty. Anything that you can think of that you encounter in this life, you will find a good reference file that is yours and privately yours that you can call upon. And there are some in there that you don't want to do. It's just countercultural, like, I'll kill a bastard, I'll kill him, you see. And you did, you see, that's the point. You did. So this is the new thing that I now lure 21ers in Gateway to play with. Because once you know that, then all the rest, because then your vehicle, as it were, that is you are able to control so much more easily, so much more powerfully. And you will see so deeply. For example, I used to learn more even now, but my earliest life experience was, at least that I can find, and it isn't, there may be another one, is 150,000 years ago, if I can measure it by our time. See, our recorded history is a little small segment, and that's the thing you've become so fascinated with. How could human history be that small when there's so much of it? And it's all there. You can go play in it. And I can tell you that it's probably the most important fun you can have in your life, because it's also so very useful. And the it of you, the I there, the totality of it. And the other thing, oh yes, there's so many facets to this. One of the things that you must then become aware of, and you go find out for yourself again. But in my own case, I was astounded to discover that in this I there of me, when I got into trouble, and have through my lifetime, a helper has been sent. And is one of the earlier personalities who's capable to do certain things, is, quote, sent, and that's a relative term, to help me. And I must tell you that the how that's done is, they don't wait, you think, well, you're going down for the third time. They wait to the 10th time, and then they come. Be sure you get the experience, is the whole point. Don't make it a real experience. I give the illustration